Can you say something again? Sorry.
Hello, Omar. How are you?
Fine, thank you. გესმის? და ცოტა ხმადა დასაუბრობდა და მაინც შენ მაინც აუწიეს.
Femicide in Fonichala. 20-year-old woman was killed yesterday. Husband is detained. Tragedy at Tbilisi Sea. Rescuers found the body of a 15-year-old boy who drowned in Tbilisi Sea yesterday. 1 year after the flood, the road to village Akhaldaba still faces the danger of landslide.
Good evening. You are watching GIPA Times with Nino Abdaladze, Nanuka Bregadze.
Good evening. 20-year-old woman was killed yesterday in Fonichala. Her 26-year-old husband is detained. The woman was transferred to the hospital but could not survive. See detail in Maradia Tsavas and Jamila Ibrahimova's report.
The husband stabbed his ex-wife, who was 20 years old. The incident took place late night in Ponichala, Tbilisi. Günay Isayeva, who was killed at her home, had 2 children, aged 2 and 4. She was taken to the hospital but failed to save her.
It has been 7 years since they married. Her husband Navruz, his grandmother, father, all beat her every day. At night he came when she was sleeping with her children. He asked to talk and demanded money. When he was refused, he took a knife from his pocket and cut her throat.
Aunt complains that police is not working properly.
Police is not interested in anything. Her husband is arrested, but we want a life sentence for him.
According to uncle, Günay and Novruz divorced just once months ago, but he never stopped disturbing her.
He beat her every day and demanded money. When she couldn't give money, he beat her and again. He tried to kill her brother too, but he managed to escape. Kids are at hospital now because they are afraid.
The criminalists worked at the scene throughout the night. According to preliminary information, the cause of the murder was a family conflict. According to the Ministry of Internal Affairs, the suspect has been arrested. Investigation has been launched into a premeditated murder.
Based on the data from Prosecutor Office about femicide cases in 2015, Sopovas has prepared infographic images.
The Prosecutor's Office of Georgia presented the report and criminological research about domestic violence. It appeared that from 80 women killed in 2015, 8 were killed on the grounds of domestic violence. They were murdered by a knife, gun, with other kinds of weapons. They became victims of physical violence. In most cases, they were killed by their husbands or ex-husbands. The prosecutor's office research also showed that there were 680 domestic crime cases in 2015 in Georgia. Motives of more than a half of them, amounting 307, were conflict-based. 128 were caused by household conflict, 19 by revenge, 55 by jealousy, 1 by sexual orientation, 5 by psychological problems of victims, 1 by religious misunderstanding.
We return in the studio with the guest. Caroline Sutcliffe is the director of Chaykhana, the project that reports from South Caucasus about different issues connected to gender, minorities, social, and so on. Caroline, thank you very much for coming to our studio. About gender, and actually 1 year ago, one of your main themes was gender. So could you tell us, is it really a problem in Georgia?
Yes, absolutely. In Georgia and the whole South Caucasus, you can see femicide is ubiquitous, sex-selective abortion. We did a data visualization on the case and girls who were not because of sex domestic violence. It's, in terms
of follow such kind of cases, and do you do documentaries, human stories?
Yes, so we're focusing on alternative storytelling. So we'll do something that is a short documentary of her human story. We don't do news-based reports. It's much more important for us to tell how she was, her family in different situations, and sort of put that in a multimedia format as a whole.
In general, what kind of tendency is in Georgia? Are women stereotyped in media or less? How do you think?
Good question. I think all across the media it's being made, but a lot needs to happen as well.
And do you think it's connected somehow to the fact that women occupy less like managerial and top positions and more men occupy this kind of positions?
Sure, absolutely. And so at Chaykhana, we're trying to flip that representation.
Thank you very much.
Georgian students and the International Lawyer House protest in front of the Ministry of Education and Science. Students who started university abroad have problems in continuing studies here. International Lawyer House does not agree with the changes in the law. Mariam Abesadze and Javid Mehdiev have explored the issue.
Today is the third day of the manifestation at the Ministry of Education and Science of Georgia. It is organized by students and non-governmental organization Lawyers International House. The protest regards the amendment of the law signed by the former minister Tamar Sanikidze. Students enrolled in the foreign universities who get the distant education have the right to continue studying in Georgian accredited universities, but this right is deprived from 17 May 2016.
It was one of the offenses of former Minister Sanikidze. The opportunists who took the education abroad to go studying at Georgian universities. What's most important, they are not going to study free and they simply lose the money. And at the same time, students who got the education abroad before this regulation do not have the right to continue study as well.
David Peradze, one of the organizers of the manifestation, says that students are going to start hunger strike if their demand will not be satisfied. 9-year-old George Guarezhelia, who has studied for 1 year in Armenia, complains that new regulation should not apply to him because he was enrolled before this change in the rule. Asked to meet with Minister Alexei, but he's out of the country.
We have recognition and we are
to save him, but there was no success. Theresa May from Conservative Party. She has emerged from